Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to go over 15 things that I think could really improve the PUBG experience. Now obviously some would take more time to implement and some potentially impossible, but I really think some of these should make it into the game. Now these are in no particular order, but I want to start off with the adrenaline syringe. Now you find this in a crate and I think it definitely needs a buff, as right now it's pretty lackluster and it's very rare to come across. I feel it should allow a revive if you're downed, as it is adrenaline, and if you've ever seen any other games and movies, let me think here, Pulp Fiction for example, it can have that power to bring people right back to life or give them a second chance. Now this would be really awesome and it would reward players for chasing after those highly sought after crates that usually end up in bloodshed. Now the syringe can still offer that full boost feature like it does now when the person's alive, but let's just have another option. Next, I want to discuss another consumable I think should be added to the game, and more consumables in general honestly. But I think something like diazepam or some kind of muscle relaxer would be great in PUBG, and it will offer a much longer hold breath duration for taking those longer accurate shots. Or you can breathe underwater for longer periods of time if you get stuck swimming in Erangel trying to cross the bridge into the military base. Happens to me quite often. Now if you guys ever played the original Metal Gear Solid, you'll see where you need to take that diazepam and it'll hold your breath longer and allow you to steady your hands to hit that sniper. I think it was Sniper Wolf actually that you're fighting. It's like an infamous boss battle. Now this medication was changed to pentosemin I believe in the sequels due to legal issues, but I'm sure Bluehole can come up with their own creative name as well. Next, I think more items and throwable grenades like tear gas would be awesome in PUBG. They would allow for more control in urban battles, and if you find someone camping in a building, this could really flush them out. But there also needs to be a counter, there needs to be balance to it. So I think having an equipable gas mask that can be found like a helmet, that can be taken on and off, would be awesome too. I would make them as rare as say a level 2 helmet, so not everyone has them, which would make the tear gas completely ineffective. Also, you can make them take up a little more space in the backpack, so it becomes a tactical choice whether or not you want to take that with you. I think it should also affect your vision, something like in Battlefield 1 or something of the sort to balance it out. I see games like Fortnite constantly adding new items and throwables quite frequently. They impact the gameplay experience in positive ways and they change the meta, and I think PUBG would benefit from this. Okay, on to the next one. The Miramar map needs some serious restructuring in my opinion, as a lot of the cool locations in towns like Military Base and Prison and Lala and all these different towns that I can't pronounce are just completely out of the way. I've never traveled to them, I probably never will, and the map just seems too damn big. We have jet skis and boats we never get to utilize, and I don't know, it just feels off. Maybe put a river running through the map to allow these vehicles to be used that can split off in different directions that give us other options than just running through a desert to get to the circle or taking some stupid hippie bus over a mountain, which really just becomes the struggle bus because they can't even go up a little hill, or you bump into a texture and you just stop dead in your tracks and you get shot by 4 guys with full automatic M4s and you explode and game over, you don't even get to the end game. That's not fun. So give us a little more variety and just fix the damn map please. Thank you. The next one is a pretty common request and it's something we've all wanted for a while, and that is better servers, better hit registration, better tick rate, and just a better overall experience. Our shots should count. When we hit someone in the head, they should not go through them, or they should not be able to shoot us when we are around corners or in doorways. Now I know having 100 players on a game that runs on the Unreal Engine 4 is not that simple to maintain, especially when the tick rates are bouncing all over the place because people's computers and FPSs are bouncing all over the place. And you guys have done a good job on optimizing the game, and I do generally get a lot better FPS, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. But we still deal with latency and ping and just a lot of other bullshit. So I think having some kind of ping lock or better regional matchmaking can, better pair us with people on the East Coast or West Coast or somewhere in our country would really help latency and ping and hit registration. So I think that's something that needs to be prioritized immediately. Next, I think we could really benefit from some more variety in the weapons and particularly new ammo types and the guns that go with the ammo types. Now there are plenty of ammo types out there, such as the infamous 545x39, AK-74 SMG anyone? Or the 300 Blackout maybe? Nice little in-between round of the 5.56 and 7.62, maybe it's subsonic? I don't know, let's grab a honey badger out there and run around with a short-barreled M4 style weapon. Or maybe a 50 caliber, throw in the Desert Eagle handgun.
And the fact that I've got Desert Eagle, .58, written on the side of mine. Should precipitate.
Yeah, that sounds fun, right? Or maybe even an SMG type that's better at shredding armor, like the infamous 5.7 round, the P90, the 5.7 handgun, or the MP7 with the 4.6mm round. There's plenty of options. We just need more variety, as these guns are getting stale. And if you're not going to introduce a new ammo type, then at least expand on the existing ones. Get a G36 in there. People love that gun. Or maybe a FAMAS, really high fire rate, hard to control, TAR-21, or any bullpup, even the AUG. Just take the AUG out of the crate. I don't know why it's in there. Or maybe the Groza. I don't know, just give us more guns. We love the guns. And next, I really think we could have a lot of fun with some new animations, such as a slide feature. There's a subtle one like seen in Battlefield 1, or there's the more extreme versions like the one seen in Destiny. I know it would allow more fluid movement, and it would especially feel great going from cover to cover. It would also feel particularly badass sliding into a room and taking out 2 to 3 bad guys quickly like some kind of badass super soldier. That would be rewarding. We also wouldn't mind having some kind of execution animation. We got all these melee weapons, let's put them to good use. Or if someone's knocked, we can finish them off with style. Next, I want to talk about the Miramar vehicles and how we either need another vehicle added or a complete overhaul to the existing ones, as none of them work too well on this terrain and they're awfully slow, besides of course the motorcycle, which can randomly just flip over and kill you. And that is not fun, especially when you've just been looting for 25 minutes straight. Please just give us some more variety in the vehicles because the terrain is just terrible, and I'm sick of driving the Bronco and just hitting some little bump and just flipping over or smacking and losing health because the bumper's so damn low. Put some monster truck tires on the thing or something, come on. The next one is a bit of an experimentation, but I think it can work, but you'd have to really test it out. But using multiple plane drops could really open up the map more. Instead of like restructuring the map, maybe you can have crossing planes or planes that are just going in 2 separate directions, and this would spread people out more. But I am afraid that it could make the game slower, so this would have to really be tested. We don't want the game to feel more like a running simulator. Okay, next is something we've all been asking for and something we need. And games like Fortnite have done it, so I think it's time PUBG implemented this. But we do need some more modes. Maybe a night mode. I mean, you guys took away fog and rain, which is fine. I like the fog, personally. The rain was the sound sucks, but night mode would be cool because you could get night vision goggles off the ground. They could be pretty common and not too overpowered. I mean, you'd have to balance them accordingly, of course. Also, I feel like a smaller, more intense mode that was focused more on close quarters battles and more interiors and buildings would be a lot of fun. Basically, you could do something like a smaller map and less people, and this would also make the servers more stable and make the game feel more competitive. Maybe you could also add a Battlefield style mode, maybe a 50 vs 50 or a 40 vs 40, 30 vs 30, whatever, or even 10-man teams. I know people do that in custom games and it's freaking awesome. Just something of that nature. It would be an absolute blast to play in PUBG with this realistic setting. Next up, I want to discuss something along the lines of the shooting mechanics and the bullet penetration. I think a realistic balance where you don't overdo it. Like, it can't be like Battlefield or Rainbow Six. It's just not that kind of game. But something more subtle and something that makes sense. So certain cover just isn't invulnerable and it feels more like a tactical decision to shoot through that object. Something like Call of Duty perhaps, like they used to do. That would be awesome. Next up, I don't think it would hurt to have more cosmetics. More themed clothing so we can stand out amongst our peers and foes, and just more variety in general. I know you guys have a whole design team over there working hard, but I do think we need some more cosmetics sooner than later. Maybe some kind of elite bundle like you see in games like Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, you guys would make a killing off microtransactions especially, and we'd love how our characters would look. Just give us some badass options. Next, I think we could really benefit from a better replay system, where we can fine-tune things like depth of field, slow motion, camera lenses, and so forth, and give us a more detailed experience. That would really be beneficial to people like me, as well as people up and coming who are trying to make the most out of the replay system. Another really cool idea would be the ability to pick up a parachute. Even though you launch with one, and you use it in the beginning of the game, let us pick up another one like you would in GTA 5. So in case we want to go to a different part of the map, or say we're on a really high structure in Miramar and we don't feel like taking the stairs, we can parachute right down. Yes, you have a high potential of getting shot out of the air, and it's a risky choice, but you can use that to outplay or outmaneuver opponents, kind of like the launch pad in Fortnite. I think that would be a really cool idea. And last but not least, we need more win incentive. Maybe more BP, or some kind of chicken dinner crate that we could win. Maybe even being able to loot dog tags and sell them for BP like Escape from Tarkov would be pretty cool. I just want to feel more rewarded for beating out almost 100 players. Give us a better crate system when we win, please. And that about wraps this video up. Let me know what you guys think about these additions in the comments, as well as your own ideas that could further improve PUBG. I just feel like the game's getting a little bit stale. I love the game, but I do think we need more content. I mean, just look at Fortnite. Come on, Blue Hole. Anyway, peace out, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.